I came across your profile when you started putting out these videos, जहाँ पे you did a thorough financial analysis of all these stocks, almost all these stocks in Nifty 50, right? And regularly,
Okay.
daily, you were doing these financial क्या बोलते हैं, analysis, sharing your spreadsheet and also the analysis, right? So there are two things that I want to ask. First of all, why
हाँ.
did you start doing it in the first place?
Hmm.
Second, what were the key patterns I'd say you recognized जब आप analyze कर रहे थे, which were common amongst all these awesome companies that are worth investing in?
Right. So, I mean, this slight change. I did not do an in-depth analysis of the 50 companies. I just did an overview and basic financial analysis. And the reason why I did that, the primary reason, actually, there were a couple of reasons. The first reason was that I mean, it doesn't make sense to research each company in a lot of detail because we don't have that much time. So I would just do a basic financial analysis of the companies and figure out, okay, at the basic level or at the higher level, it looks okay. Now I can go in depth. So that was the primary reason. And I also wanted to understand and just gather some knowledge and understanding of how the financials of the biggest companies of India work, right? So it was just headline financials. I mean, I took revenue, EBIT, and PAT from the profit and loss statement, the three cash flows, and I took the capital structure primarily, right? Nothing fancy. Calculated few ratios like profit margins, return on capital, then again few ratios for capital structure. So very basic stuff, right? And at least the common things that I noticed or the kind of companies that I like, right? Obviously, there's a bias involved. Was first of all, I saw that the companies that I found doing well were growing, obviously. And there was also an interesting pattern in the growth that the growth in few companies, at least, not in all companies, but in a lot of the companies which were doing well, was that the growth in PAT was greater than the growth in EBIT. And the growth in EBIT was greater than the growth in revenue. So let's say, for example, revenue was growing around 8 to 10% for 10 years. So the time period for this was 2011 to 2020, right? Headline financials for these 10 years, right? So the growth of revenue, let's say around 8 to 10%. So EBIT would be somewhere around 12% or 13%, and PAT would be somewhere around 15%, right? So that was probably the top companies out of the good companies also, right? So I mean, the companies that weren't doing well were obviously weren't growing, or the profits were inconsistent. In the good companies, they were growing. Let's say in some companies they were growing pretty quickly. In some companies they were growing moderately. But in the best companies, the growth in PAT was greater than the growth in EBIT, which was greater than the growth in revenue. So that was one thing. The other thing was the cash conversion was very good, right? So what I did was compare the operating cash flow versus, I mean, you could come, if based on how you compare, you could compare the cash flow before taxes versus the EBIT, or the CFO versus the PAT, right? Just to be consistent, right? So you could compare it for every year, and you could also do a cumulative. So I calculated the total profit for 10 years and the total cash flow for 10 years. So in the good companies, the cumulative cash flow was somewhere between 0.9 to 1.2x, somewhere, something like that, right? Either it was very close to PAT, or it was exceeding the profit, right? And there was some inconsistency even within good companies on a year-to-year basis, right? Because you can understand how it works, and it also depends a lot on the industry. But on a cumulative basis, they were converting their profits into cash. So those were not just accounting profits; those were cash profits, right? And the third thing was that the capital structure had relatively little debt, right? Now, also one thing here is that, I mean, we'll obviously have to take out the financial companies, right? But among the non-financial companies, in a way, that Nifty is also dominated by IT services companies, right? To a certain extent. And because of their business model, they don't need a lot of debt. So obviously, because of how the Nifty is created, and because of the business of the IT services company, you could see that they had relatively little debt. But you would want a company to have, I mean, manageable debt, if you want to say. And even in the companies that had debt, the trend was declining, because I mean, if you go back 10-12 years, then a lot of companies did raise debt, right, to grow and to expand, but they were paying off that debt, right? That could be found in a few FMCG companies, that they had little bit of debt, not just within Nifty, but also in some companies outside Nifty, right? So those were the few observations, and the major reason was just to get an idea of, I mean, and also to prepare a sort of filter, that okay, I can't go in depth in a lot of companies, so I have this basic exercise that would take somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes, because you can get the data easily, you have the format ready, so the ratios are calculated automatically, so you could just divide this into certain heads. So the things that I would look for is the behavior of the profit margin, right? The growth in revenue, EBIT and PAT, the cash conversion, which is obviously, and another thing was the adequacy of account operating cash flow. So you could do a net cash flow, that is the operating cash flow enough for primarily for investing activities, right? Because the business would want to reinvest. And again, a lot of the good companies consistently paid out dividends. Maybe the dividends might fluctuate, but they would pay out at least some dividends. So the operating cash flow was actually enough to not just invest, but also to pay out dividends, right? And then obviously you would look at the capital structure, and you would break down the ROC into the profit margin and the asset utilization. So those were some observations or some points that I tried to focus on.
I think you've done a really good job in these 3 to 4 minutes explaining कि हर एक financial statement में ढूंढना क्या चाहिए, because ideally profit and loss में margin expansion you'd expect, cash
Yeah.
में you would want cash conversion, otherwise there are high chances that the company is doing
Yeah.
something fishy, and debt जितना कम उतना अच्छा.